Hello, everybody. Duckyworth here, and yes, it is time for my next live reaction, and this is for the film that everybody has been waiting for. Yay! Yes. It is for the 1994 Don Bluth film, A Troll in Central Park. God damn it. Yeah, this is one that I've both been looking forward to just so I can rip at a new one because it's been a while since I've last seen it, and I know it sucks because I saw it a few years ago, and I really did not like it then, and I know that it's going to suck now, and both dreading because of how bad it is. And I still can't believe that when I first saw it when I was a child, I used to enjoy it. Because that's the thing about this film. It's, a lot of people describe it as being like a caricature of what a lot of people think children's films should be. And that's the thing, it's just like characters just like bouncing around with happy faces and all cheery and saccharine sickly sweet. And I suppose back when I was younger it appealed to me because because yes, it's something that those are things that young children do find appealing, but unfortunately, it doesn't have any substance behind the sweetness. It's just endless scenes of just bouncing, smiling trolls and toddlers and complete. Okay, there is a story, but it's a bare bones story, and it's very boring and very slow from what I can remember. And I feel so bad for Don Bluth when it came to this because I've just looking here in the July 2001 issue of a Toon Talk. I've just got the TV tropes page up here. Don Bluth admitted the film was disappointing and regretted how it turned out. He says, "As it is never a good thing that a child is born prematurely, so it is with producing a film. Development of a script is like the development of a child in the womb. It takes time and must be done right. Building the movie, A Troll in Central Park, taught us this lesson, but indeed the hard way. I tell you all this in the hope that you might benefit from our foolish mistakes. Scrutinising your own work is so important, but let's face it, we are all afraid of not measuring up, so we stubbornly cling to our own ambitions, shutting out all others. Stanley could have been a richer character with more levels to his personality. Maybe he could have had a dark side, a troll side that he struggled with." That is a very good point. I mean, even without watching the film, just what everything I know about Stanley and everything about him, that would make this film a lot better. Already, I can tell you right now. And something else that's rather horrific about the history of this film. The film had a budget of 23 million US dollars and only grossed $71,368 domestically, which is less than 1/3 of 1% of its budget. So it's one of the biggest flops in the history of cinema, and it was formerly the biggest animated film flop before Delgo came along. And a lot of the things that happened to it that prevented it from making any of its money back was Warner Brothers gave it both a limited release, they didn't do any advertising for it, and they expected it to flop. So, because they expected it to be terrible, it turned out terrible. So, you know. Yes. Just no matter how many times I come back to this film, it's just like whenever I even think about it, I just think about why does this film exist? How did Don Bluth make this? I mean, even with all the other Don Bluth films I've seen, even with Rockadoodle and Thumbelina, they at least have something going on. I mean, Thumbelina's boring as tar, but at least it's not at least it has a bit of substance and a bit of character compared to this film, and it doesn't hold on the same scenes for ages. And at least Rockadoodle, as nonsensical as its plot is and how it quickly bounces along and rushes along through its plot and nothing makes sense, at least it's not as boring as this. So yes, it is time to venture back into the wonderful world of Stanley, truly the greatest troll to have ever lived. Looks like I can't get away from this film, so I've got a troll in Central Park in front of me right now, on YouTube, and God, only an hour and 12 minutes long, really. Once again, at least it's mercifully short, but it still feels like, even with a runtime of only 72 minutes, or if you take out the credits, only something like under 70 minutes, it still feels like a couple of hours longer than it really is. So here we go, everyone. A troll in Central Park. Here we go. Let's venture to, as it was called in some countries, Stanley's Magic Garden. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Help me. Okay, here we go then. Oh yes, the magic fireflies in front of a ferny background there. Don Bluth, I feel bad for him, mate. Oh yes, look at those roses. This film does not deserve the pretty music that it has. Because the animation and the music are probably the best things in this. Norman Gimbel and Robert Folk doing the musical score. Yeah, Robert Folk. You're trying way too hard. Screenplay by Stu Krieger. Oh, here we go then. The Kingdom of Trolls. Okay, the Kingdom of Trolls looks cool. I will give it that. But this film, I will say that the Kingdom of Trolls in a the Goblin Kingdom in a Princess and a Goblin looks cooler than this. No flowers allowed by order of the Oh God, there he is. There he is, the stupid Stanley. Dom DeLuise, you deserve better. Everyone in this deserves better. I've cool looking birds, okay. And the thing is, these backgrounds and some of the creatures, they do look really cool. But it's like, but then you just have Stanley. Okay, now he's being chased by dogs. I'm gonna kick some pots. Oh. Oh, great, I'm very stunned. Wait, you could see that. How stupid is this guy? Oh, you looked around and saw it, you idiot. Threatening. Truly. God, look, Stanley's design, you know how I said in Pebble and the Penguin, like, some of the character designs look like all the worst aspects of, like, all the bad choices you can make with Don Bluth designs all brought into one. At least Pebble and the Penguin was surprisingly more entertaining than I expected it to be. But not this. Not this. Oh, yeah, great, and now How do those guards not look down and notice what is going into his house and putting all the flowers in there every single night? I do remember Lort being like one of the only likeable characters in this. And Charles Nelson Riley's performance definitely helps. King Dirty Bubble. Yeah, you're not being very covert, are you, Stanley? Ugh. It's like I think a big. Oh god. Oh god, his ears! Why do his ears wiggle like that? It's creepy. It's trying to be like a Dopey from a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, but at least he didn't do it all the time. And it just looks creepy. Yeah, that was stupid, weren't you? Yeah, and of course you do it right in front of a window of your house, so everyone can see it now. If I didn't notice all the flowers that you were letting in there anyway, like they should have noticed. Yeah, once again, it took them this long to go and actually do something. Yeah, look, they're standing right on top of his house. You would have thought they would have arrested him sooner. Yeah, it's not very easy to find him that threatening when he's got a door like shoved on his head there. Gnorga, Queen of the Trolls. When you pronounce it, what's spelled? I would have thought you would pronounce it Norga. Oh, and here she is. Ugh. Because the thing about Gnorga is that her goal throughout this whole thing is to kill Stanley, which should make her like one of the most likable characters in this. But she's such a stupid villain with how she goes about her goals. She's such an idiot anyway that it pretty much ruins any charm that she could have. And a villain song isn't much better either. Yes, touch her and you'll turn into stone. I get it. And it doesn't help that the stuff going on in the song isn't all that interesting either. Even if the instrumentals are nice. And Cloris Leachman is trying her hardest here. Oh god, this bit is pretty creepy though. The bat gets turned into stone still while it's flying, and then it just stops there and it blinks. So it's still alive, but it's petrified forever. That is pretty creepy, I will say. And as someone who loves bats, it's also not helping. Uh, yes, we get it. You're the Queen of Mean. You can stop now. You can shut up. Get in my way and I'll get you forever. You know, considering the fact that all the other trolls are pretty ugly anyway, it doesn't really make a Gnorga stand out. And if you ask me, that all of these trolls look better than Stanley. Stanley's the ugliest one here. And the idea of her having this throne room that's made up of all these other trolls that have been turned to stone, that's a pretty frightening concept. King Killer from All Dogs Go to Heaven or Dirty Bubble from SpongeBob is still enjoyable, though. Yes, and they're executing Stanley. Yes, do it, please. And the turtle has clothes on. Okay. Yes, we do. He is annoying. He has no purpose. Not to mention what happens later. Don't you mean petrify him? Because the thing is that they use the word prestidigitation later in the film, but they think petrify is too complicated for the audience. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So... Yeah, I know a lot of people have said this before, but it's like, she doesn't even know where Lort is talking about, but she just sends him straight to, the place of rock and steel where nothing grows. And once again, it's called A Troll in Central Park. But I mean, look at it. There's trees and vegetation everywhere. So, how stupid are you? Why are you laughing? I'm just looking at something here. Don Bluth and Warner Brothers made the mistake of shortening the production of a film. That explains a lot. Oh, great. And now he's in Central Park because... Look around, you idiot! You didn't notice all the flowers coming in when you first came in, you idiot? Oh, God, his expressions. Oh, God, ew. This film in a nutshell. I think there's been a mistake here. That should be the tagline. Not really. Oh, great, and now we've got Charlie barking about to eat him before he can ruin Don Bluth's reputation forever. Get him, Charlie, get him! Okay. And no, and now all the dogs are just chasing him. Okay. Okay, now he runs into a... Oh no, it's the nut job! We're getting from one horrible film to another. And yes, I love the fact that everybody's trying to kill Stanley, because that's very, very fitting. How big is that salad bowl? Nom nom. Nobody heard that. He doesn't look at that. Nobody notices. How blind is everyone in this film? And look at this. This guy's about to eat him. And only then he notices. Point. Purpose. Can we get back to a plot, please? I mean, I get that the whole point is to show that Stanley's like in a place where he's not safe, but you could go for it much quicker than just all this going on. Just like him just running into the traffic, and unfortunately none of those cars hit him. And doesn't he just end right back where he started anyway? Ugh. Yeah, how big is he? Okay, and he just... Okay, took like a shoe. And now he's terrorizing ducks. At least that frog doesn't look like the really hideous ones in Thumbelina. Oh, come on. Get to the point. All this great animation is wasted on just all this fluff. Yes, and now he's just all alone in. You had a little patch of green. You had a patch of green, and if you were more covert with your flower growing, and was a bit and was smarter with growing them, and he wouldn't have got caught. Oh, nice juxtaposition there. And it's like there's no much reason to care for him, from what I've seen. Oh, look, it's Dimitri from Anastasia again, and he's a lawyer. Ah, here we go. Gus and Rosie. And already I hate Gus because he's acting like a brat. And he's voiced by Philip Glasser, who voiced Fievel. Fievel was much better than Gus. Yeah, temper tantrums. That's really going to endear me to this character. Yes. You do need to appreciate it. Because, I mean, the idea behind Stanley and Gus is that the character. Oh. It's about the character. It's like they seem to take Privet Keps out. It's but they don't take very. Oh. Yeah, little brat. Is that they don't their character types that could work if they had more personality and more likable traits, but they don't. Oh yeah, and Mrs. Smart, Gus and Rosie just sneak out, and the housekeeper doesn't even notice because she's got her stupid headphones on while she cleans, and the parents leave the keys in where the kids can get it, and they just go out into a city on their own. This is a pretty scary concept. Nobody notices these children just walking around on their own without any parents. Yeah, nobody seems to pay much attention to it. Yeah, because that would work. I love how Gus gives this scream there where he goes, Rosie! Like something really bad's happening, yes, balloons flying. As opposed to, like, later when they're actually in peril. Like, that's one of the first big dilemmas in this film. Oh, great. From two insufferable characters back to another insufferable character. Wow, that squirrel is a serious bedhead. Oh, great. No! Run away from a squirrel while you still can! Sally is coming! If I'd that coming towards me, I'd honestly just run for the hills. Ugh. Yes, very good. The thing about Rosie is that I get that she's a toddler, So, I mean, with many other circumstances, I mean, yeah, great. I mean, with, uh, she sounds too much like a squeaky toy, and uh, I know probably shouldn't be too hard because she's just a baby, and it's like often with other like toddler characters in like things like Rashan from Ice Age and Flurry Heart from Friendship is Magic. It's like I say that that people are often too harsh to judge them, like just like saying that they're horrible characters just because they're babies. What's an expression? Oh, great! The squirrel just notices Stanley and uh, what's the point of this? Uh, Anyway, but Rosie seems like the absolute worst take that you could take with a toddler character. It's like they dial up the. It's like with the character. Ugh. Yeah. It's like Mary Gibbs from Monsters Inc. and Flurry Hart and Rashan had much more character than her, and she's just like this excuse. She's just piling on top of it, attempts to be sickly sweet. And she just adds to how annoyingly sickly saccharine she is. The film is. Oh, great. Ugh. Yeah, now she starts abusing Stanley, so that's a positive for her character at least. And thank you, Gus, for not keeping an eye on her, like an older brother should. And it's also on Maria for not noticing that they're gone, and for the parents for making it possible for it to get unlocked. Yeah, look at him. He doesn't notice that she's gone and just goes, Rosie? Ugh, yeah, but the same scream back, Rosie! Yeah, not much is happening. You can stop with a... Oh, God. Yes, very good, troll. Her design looks like a humanized version of the newborn cooties design from Friendship is Magic, from My Little Pony Generation 3.5, which has been dubbed newborn cooties. It's just disgustingly, obnoxiously that torment that poor Frog's going through. Leave a frog alone. God, I'm already a third of the way through the film and nothing's happened. Ugh. Yeah, and it's like, this is the moment where the children come across the magical creature. Yeah, the music's not helping. You can try... yeah, there is. Yeah, it's... He's scared of a toddler just saying troll towards him. That's the sound of me gagging. Yeah, very good. That face! Okay, I bet that's Dom DeLuise. He wasn't acting there when he said forget it. No, we've had enough of it. Yeah, great, you can make thistles. I can take your hat. Yeah, yet another scene of pointless drawing out the runtime with characters doing absolutely nothing of substance except bouncing around with hats on and their tongues lolling out, and Ladybug with a mustache. Yes, okay. A ladybird walking on a plush. Yeah. You're being threatened by a bug. Yes, very, very scary. Truly on the level of Sharp Tuff from the original Land Before Time, or Jenna from A Secret of Nim. Truly, that ladybug was one of the most evil characters to have ever appeared in this, and I'm just so happy that that was solved. Yes, a toddler kissed him, and he's jumping around it. God, do something of substance, please! Instead of being in ecstasy because you got kissed by a 2-year-old like a completely not a creep. You know, that would have been something that would actually have been interesting. If we got to see more about Stanley's childhood and how he got to be in the position he was at the start. But no, now we get to annoying things about growing flowers over and over. Okay, we get it. Stop! Stop the fear. Stop this, please. I'm almost tempted to skip forward because the next 10 minutes is pretty much nothing but this. Yes, just cut to a different film. Yes, very good. You can make a... Ugh. Dom DeLuise, you're trying too hard. You can sing really well, and the background music is nice, but the visuals of and the film itself are just ruining it. It's not funny. Anywhere but this. I wonder how much it hurt to animate all of this. This reminds me of the nightmare that Rainbow Dash had in A Friendship is Magic, of all the flowers being all overly happy and her freaking out. That's how I feel right now. And all these flowers having overly happy expressions and looking scarier than flowy. Ugh. Oh no, all the woodland creatures are being manipulated by... Again, this is a parody. This feels like a parody of things like scenes like in like Snow White or Cinderella when they do all the because when it comes to characters like ones that were born in dark places and only want to be peaceful, they're types of characters that I can really like, but only if I have more depth and have actual charm to them. Yes, hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Oh, and here comes yes, something actually happening. We just wasted like 10 minutes. And he's hiding from a young boy. Yeah, great. You're really getting cover in there. Yes. The most tragic thing to happen, his boat broke. Wait, who's control the lighting? Yeah, great. Or was it Schluffy? You're a flower! How can you have hay fever? Oh yeah, great. And you're scared of a toddler. You're smart. Oh, God. Yeah, hi. Oh, oh, God, stop. It's horrible. Child. This is the actual scariest bit of a film. Never mind a Gnorga. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, really weird. Space. How do you know we came from outer space? Oh yeah, great. Well, what we need to add on to the annoyingness. Why is it that when Roshan, Florrie Hart, and Mary Gibbs cry, I feel bad, but when Rosie cries, I feel absolutely nothing? Once again, Rosie has absolutely none of it. How do they know where the bottle is? Yeah, oh yeah, great. We've really solved something there. Back to something that actually had potential to be cool, but instead it's in this film. Sounds like the most annoying sound in the world. Ah. Yeah, and once again, she just hears this one when there's like millions of other babies in the world crying. Cloris Leachman, you're trying too hard for this. Oof. You can get back to the point now. Once again, the films just get padded on for ages. Yes, I want to. Ah! What do you think they meant? Surely you have bottles in. Oh god, what are they doing now? Okay. If I just saw that, I'd probably, if I was a child, a baby, I'd probably pee myself in terror. And once again, yeah, great, yeah, really great. And once again, child characters like Pingu growing up had much more character and charm to this. The old soft petal. Oh God, stop! This feels like the cutscenes from Fantasia that they decided to remove because they were too boring, and they added absolutely nothing to it. Ugh. Once again, imagine how much time they wasted doing all this fluid animation on pointless flower dancing and killing yourself under a bottle and just kicking it away. That's going to make Rosie cry even more. Oh, never mind. I guess she's over it. Yeah, charming. Get on with it! Yes, get on with it! Get on with it! God. Never before have I seen a film. This is one of the only films I think I could. Oh. Yes, this film does look terrible to me. This film is punishing. Oh, what's it walking? Yeah, it's ruining your boat. It does! Yes, it looks awful. For once, I agree with Gus. He actually has other character traits besides just being sickly sweet all the time. Ugh. Bad touch. Okay. You could just kill them. Just saying. Considering what you do later, you could just do something much worse to kill them. Yeah, look, Gus is realizing what film he's in. And what's with the sound effects when he cries? Why does it sound so deep? Yes, kill all the stupid flower garden. I thought that was... How do you hear Gnorga? What was she... And once again, why don't you just kill them? And this is the best way you could think of doing it. Oh, come on, nothing's happening. You could just... Yeah, you have the characters all getting caught up in the water like this, and this doesn't even compare to... Don Bluth does a lot of scenes where the characters like get caught in water and like almost drowning. Like in An American Tale, Anastasia, and Pebble and the Penguin, and this doesn't even compare. Once again, there's minimal stuff happening, and look, the peril's just over. Yeah, and you just make the boat large. Yeah, great. It really fixes it. I feel like things are actually happening, but it feels like absolutely nothing is happening. Uh, yeah, that explains it. Every good troll. There were other good trolls besides you. What you mean for? Oh yeah, and every single person in your ideal world is exactly like you. Yeah, that's pretty bad implications. In his dream world, everybody looks and sounds exactly like his stupid, sickly sweet self. Look, a waterfall that's going to kill you. Yeah, great. Yeah, you're intentionally trying to kill them. You're trying to sacrifice both these kids to your flower god, and you're happy because you're flying to your death. Oh, darn it. Ugh. How far am I into this? I think I'm going to stop it there. I think I've had enough that I can deal with in one in one half here. I'm only 39 minutes in, and it already feels like I've been watching this film for an eternity. Because that one thing that Stanley mentioned about I'll invite all the other good trolls, that gives the implication that at one point there were other good trolls and they were banished or killed, or maybe that's where or maybe all the other trolls that returned to stone were, and that's why he has to hide all of his flowers from them. Because that would have made an interesting story if he was like the last of his kind, and when all the other trolls tried to, because I do like that the idea is that a character who, despite everyone around them being horrible and heartless, they're still able to find reasons to maintain being optimistic and hopeful that things are going to improve for the better. Like Cinderella from the Disney film, or Snow White from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Or that's another thing why I like Thorax from Friendship is Magic, is because they're characters that, even with all the horrible things that are going on, they still, and like that, it obviously does affect them, all the torment that they go through, but they still try their hardest to, either that they gain the power to stand up for themselves, or they have the energy to, like, it's like I feel that they're much more sympathetic in that either they're banished or they do stand up for themselves, but they get pushed so far that even they lose hope. Or but they have more character than just being as sickly sweet and obnoxious and stupid as Stanley is. Because that's the thing, is like, if you were to take, because again, it's a character type that I think is a good one, that has a very good potential, but it just doesn't turn out because he doesn't have anything. Because it's just there for, he just likes flowers for no reason. Everyone, all the other trolls want to get rid of flowers for no reason, and it turns out that he was just left alone for no reason. It's like things that are just happening for, there's no law. It's just like, it feels very shallow and bland, the reasons why that is that the world is why it is. And him being in his ideal world, being every single troll looks and sounds exactly like him, believes in everything like him. That's not very good. It's a bit of unfortunate implications. Yeah, so yeah. Clearly this is going to be a positive reaction, isn't it? And I'm only I'm only like halfway through it, but it feels like I've been sitting here for hours. This film really does. It really is unfortunate to watch, because another thing that I've had to think about, like when it comes to the film, is that if they spent more time, because Stanley going through New York and having to adapt to it, and maybe meeting the kids that way instead of just them all meeting underneath that boat. Underneath a bridge with Gus's boat breaking, is that it could have been made for a much more entertaining film if they fleshed it more out. But no, they just stay underneath a bridge in Central Park. With all the stupid dancing flowers stuff for so long, and once again, this film's got so many good ideas that sadly left unused or unexplored. So when I'm doing my final thoughts at the end, I've got some ideas as to how the film could have worked, which I'll go through. But for now, let's just get through the rest of this. Okay, here we go then. Let's watch the rest of A Troll in Central Park, the last half of it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, play. And here we go, another song. Well, I'm still in this film, so no, it's not a very magic place. And once again, this song is just reiterating points that we already know, with them just going over his happy place. No, not really. It's not good. Air is nice. Ugh. And I mean, looking at the houses and like the designs here, they have potential for a fantasy setting, but once again, it's wasted on this. With all of the trolls looking and acting exactly like him. Ugh. And since nothing is explored in this, ugh, come on. Do something! Oh yeah, great, that's really gonna work. And we suddenly cut from Gus suddenly wanting to get a green thumb out of nowhere. Yes, hilarious. This looks like a parody of Munchkin Land from Wizard of Oz, but without any of the charm to it. Well, that was pointless. Just like 90% of the scenes in this. Yes, you can stop laughing, Dom DeLuise. It isn't funny. Once again, that was pointless. Oh, great. Yeah, this is going to go well. Yeah, brilliant idea. I would dream for this to turn into The Adventures of Mark Twain, a much better film involving a boat flying through the sky. Okay. Oh yeah, great. Now it turns into a large version of his boat out of nowhere. So unless they okay, pirate ship. All right. That comes out of nowhere, and why? I love how Stanley tells him to dream, but whenever he dreams of something more exciting, he tells him to stop. Oh, and I guess the ship just blew off. Yeah, great. Oh, that was pointless. Noticing a pattern with this film. Just pointless scene on top of pointless scene that doesn't add anything. Oh yeah, great. Now everyone's just gonna sleep. Oh yeah, great. And I suppose we're gonna sleep. Why do you want to have a green thumb? Why do you want to make flowers? If it's getting rid of Stanley's flowers, I'm all for it. Well, yeah, but once again, why didn't you kill him? They didn't bring up much of a better reason why they spared him. Yeah, thanks, Lord. What are you doing? Why are you kissing his llama legs? You can see him! Look at the screen yourself, you idiot. Bunny bum. You could have done something better than just drowning him. Why would they do that? And why is that a threat to you? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you could just get your magic happening and make Gus cry, then why couldn't you just destroy him right there? You stupid. I'm sure there's millions of Central Park. There's more than one Central Park in the world, just from this. And once again, this is something I've had to think of. Stanley's out of your hair and is nowhere to be seen now. So how does him being in the other world affect you? You're just going there. Once again, you're going to Central Park for no reason where you could just kill him right there and then from the safety of your bedroom. Ugh. Then again, characters having any intelligent, rational thinking in this film, it doesn't happen. Yes, he got back into the nightmare. Only this film can make me resent beautiful gardens. Yeah, your dialogue's really come a long way. What's that squirrel doing? Even in his sleep, he has paedophilic dreams. Why does he get excited when toddlers kiss him? Like that? Why? Why is he? Why? What? Yes, you're holding on his snoring. And nobody heard all that destruction of Central Park all above them, and they don't notice it. All the rivers like drying up. Yeah, you don't notice any of this until now. Yeah, you don't think you would have thought you would have noticed it. And where is everyone? No one in New York or the police or like the police or anything can notice anything about it, including their parents who were just looking for him like that. And the housekeeper still doesn't know that you're gone. Oh yeah, great. The whole of Central Park is bigger than Goblin World and Troll Land and these other places all put together. Why are you sniffing a shoe? Ew! Yeah, charming. A lot of children have nasty tempers. And then once again, you just focus on him. Yeah, she is a horrible creature. What's that rabbit doing? What was that rabbit flying? Trying to fly on. And another thing that I think would be a good idea is that if when Gnorga starts destroying Central Park, if she turns some of the cute woodland creatures into like more demonic versions of themselves, that would make for a pretty terrifying climax. Instead of them keeping sickly sweet all the way. And come on, wake up, you idiot! You can't notice. And where are people noticing that Central Park has been destroyed? Yes, it still looks the same as ever. Oh, there we are. Why? Why are they on tricycles, and why do they think that makes them look threatening? It doesn't. It really doesn't. It just makes them even harder to take seriously. Wait, why didn't he do this sooner? I don't care what music you play, you're still on tricycles. Wait, how'd you get in front of him? Wait, how you... Oh, okay, she's just not like... alright. Oh. Okay, I guess she can do that. Do trolls have wind-based breath powers? I'll have to check my troll mythology. Oh, and now she's back on the trike. Yeah, great, okay. Okay, now he's heading towards a zoo, I think. Yeah, where are all the animals in the... Oh no, is that a carousel? And okay, I like this idea of Gus growing to care more for Rosie than he did at the start. But again, a lot of the things are rushed, and because... Oh, now he's only just woken up. And because a lot of the scene was focused on pointless fluff. Oh, yeah, great. Oh, Stanley, you idiot! Yeah, look at the animals. Oh, come on, wake up. I've lost all hope for you. Yeah, look at that. Even a rabbit's fed up with him. Yeah, I'll do the same, except I'll do worse. Wait, castle? Wait, some of those leaves were moving on their own. And they reused that bit of him falling down, I swear to God. Yes, destroy his stupid flower garden. Ugh. I don't think Anorga's as threatening as you're making her out to be, Stanley. Do it, you idiot! Oh, don't hide it, you coward. Yes! Listen to Gus. Wait, where'd your boat come from? Yeah, come on. This is pretty cathartic, though, seeing Gus yell at Stanley for being such a stupid coward. Yeah, you go, kid. I like how all the flowers turn on him as well and just leave him alone. Like he deserves. Well said, kid. Well said. Truer words have never been said. Oh, and again, no, still nobody notices. Oh, or is that supposed to be prison? Nobody notices that Central Park has been destroyed, and I'm still not sending the police about it. Goblins hopefully would have made this more interesting. Yes. Threatening. Do it, please! Oh, yes. Listen to Lort. Oh, you idiot. Oh, what are you doing? She just rolls over like that. Yes, Stanley is more trouble than he's worth. What did he call her? Dogems? It's the sound of hell. Oh yeah, and that dog is outsmarted by flowers. Really threatening guard dog there. Ugh, great, yeah. They're not doing a very good job making themselves to be threatening, these villains, are they? Especially when we just keep tripping over each other and they're blowing bubbles like that. Oh. Oh, what happened to lighting all of a sudden? Okay, I'll admit that his troll design is pretty cool. Oh, how did he get? Why did he get a stone thumb? Why did she give him a stone for the same kind of thumb that she's got? Yes, go on, do something useful for once. Yes, do something for once with your life. Well, that was. Oh, jeez. He wants himself to go away, and I don't blame him. Oh yeah, great, a broken boat. What are you gonna do with that? Yeah, really threatening there. Yeah, and she gives him the power to turn things to stone, because why? If it only causes yeah, great, yes. Yeah, you just run towards a cliff like that. I mean, I guess she's a baby. You would have thought she'd have more intelligence than that. The horror. Yeah, I really care. Yeah, great. With all the wonderful character moments and how much I came to care for Rosie. Yeah, it's truly, truly tragic. Boo hoo. Ugh. 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 Oh yeah, finally we can go thumb against thumb. Oh, and of course you're just all gonna run anyway, just like that, and that's you think that's how defeated her. Oh yeah, and how does she do this? Cause it's just with this bit, yeah, really, yeah, with her just like that. Who's gonna stop her from summoning one of the tornadoes again? Yeah, and why didn't he just destroy the? Yeah, her powers just get made up on the fly. So now she can just somehow control his thumb with her thumb. Yes, touch him. Do it. Oh, come on, you idiot. You don't notice that he's about to do something right in front of. Oh, no, I care so much for Stanley being turned to stone. I'm so horrified. Yes, he's in rubbish just like he deserves. Yes. Oh, okay. She turns into a rose bush. And tornado comes and sucks them back somehow. Why? How did that happen? Uh, okay, and now he gets turned back to normal, and is how reasons, law, magic explanation why. Oh yeah, great. And now sucking his thumb. Yeah, brilliant. At his age. How old is he supposed to be? Is he like a 6 or 7? I'm not sure whether it's if a kid's sucking his thumb at that age. I might not know what I'm talking about. I might be wrong on this, but that's a bit of a uh, yeah. And once again, no one's going to see Central Park or commenting on it being destroyed or whatever. And he's just sitting there with a Stanley gargoyle. Because it's not like I have a job that I need to do to support us or anything. Yeah, let's go to the completely desolate and completely destroyed Central Park. Oh, there we go. Someone finally commenting on it and some random guy sleeping under a. Yeah, brilliant. And there's no one else there besides them. Yeah, I really care about him. Stop kissing him. What? How'd you get that? Yeah, how'd you get his green form? How did he manage to? I don't know. I give up on trying to think of like explanations at this point. Yes, he's better off as a little a little stone statue. Yeah, great. I really got to know a lot about the parents or whatever. Oh, we got taken away to be turned into gravel. Oh no, wait, there he is. Back to doing what he does best. Okay, worse. And I get the feeling that we're trying to go for like a green message here. Oh, stop with the ears. Ew. And stop laughing. Oh, and I guess they don't notice Stanley at any point. Oh yeah, and Stanley's still gonna be in Central Park just on his own and with his little flower friends. Yeah, great. That's a cool effect there. That would. Oh yeah, and now he just starts spreading all his green all throughout New York and just clogging up everything with flowers and destroying. Now I imagine like, if you overcome every. This looks like something more out of like a post-apocalyptic film. With all the flowers just like reclaiming the city and just like overgrowing everything. Ew. This looks like more like something at the end of Little Shop of Horrors than a hopeful ending here. I mean, I understand. I understand there are things that people would want to. It's like that. What's the term for it? Let me just have a look up what it is. Oh, Gnorga, Queen of Posies. Stanley's case dropped. I think that's the third or fourth time they've repeated that noise clip throughout the whole film. Because they couldn't think of anything else for him to say except, why do you keep attacking me? Sit down, stay. I feel like a lot was really accomplished there. I'm just going to stop the film there. Because I'm at the 107:39 mark there. I just want to read back what it said on that newspaper that Lort has. Gnorga, Queen of Posies, everybody hopping for joy. Gnorga has finally been potted. King Lort has at last taken over the rule of Troll Kingdom. So that's possibly implying that they didn't like her the whole time, but once again, they never established that. If they were happy with her being potted, then that could have been like give more credence into the role that why that Lord chose to banish him, to banish Stanley. I don't know. Anyway, I've just had a look at the bit with the ending. I know there's a thing called a biophilic design. It's like strengthens the synergy between buildings and nature. It's to not only make buildings more environmentally friendly, but boost the role of their inhabitants with frequent exposure to nature. Like I know that architects do make a lot of houses with the houses being like have like a lot of like rooftop gardens and having a lot of greenery like built into their design. But with how suddenly Stanley just started taking over New York with building all of the with putting like all the plants there, just choking up everything. It ends up looking a bit like the red weed from War of the Worlds, except it's green. So yeah, that's just a perfect end to that. Stanley kills everyone with his sickly sweetness, just like I'd expect it. So yeah, wasn't that film just amazing, everyone? I mean, it's not as bad as Sausage Party. Like, I'd take this over Sausage Party any day because this film at least doesn't make me feel sick. Well, I mean, for different reasons, this film makes me feel sick, but it doesn't have really horrible, visceral visuals going on. Like that orgy scene at the end of a Sausage Party, and it doesn't have constant sex and penis jokes throughout the whole thing. So it's not bad in that respect, but there's literally nothing going on in this film. It's just over 3/4 of the scenes are just over and over and over, just padded out unnecessary fluff that is like a parody of what children's films are. And once again, if you think that this film is suitable because of it's just for kids and kids aren't going to care what you watch, then that's this film is what's gonna happen if you let that mindset take over. You're just gonna get a whole load of trolls in Central Parks and Peppa Pig, and films similar to and shows like similar to that. It's like it was written by adults, and I don't think it's very well made. And a lot of the people that made this film think it wasn't very well made either. But yeah, the characters aren't interesting, apart from Lort and Gus at the end. But still, Gus starts off as a bit of a brat. All the characters are idiots. Like, Maria lets the children just go out into New York on their own because she couldn't be bothered to look at them, like, going out. And the parents just leave the keys in plain view of them instead of the housekeeper just, like, keeping them on a person all times. Rosie has literally no character to her. She's just an annoying little girl who's just there to add to the cutesy nature of everything that's going on. And Gnorga's a complete idiot of a villain who she could have gone... If she wanted to get rid of Stanley, she could have just, instead of listening to what Lort says, she could have turned him to stone much sooner, or be more proactive much earlier than just trying to get a storm to drown them, which didn't work out, or all her other plans, which didn't work out. And Stanley himself is just an annoying, uninteresting, bland, vomit-inducing, sickly sweet coward who doesn't have any interesting personality traits besides bouncing around with his mouth open with flowers that bounce around with the mouths open and just pad the film on for ages. And he's just like really annoying and like have high-pitched voices and silly dancing just for 3/4 of the film, all because of him. I really wish that he could have been, like, Don Bluth said that he hopes that Stanley could have been a much more interesting and flawed character with more engaging history between Gnorga and himself. I feel bad for Don Bluth. It's like he blamed himself for a lot of things that happened, for a lot of the problems that were happening. But yeah, it just really adds to the whole thing about his dream world. That added nothing. The flowers dancing around, that added nothing. It's just a whole lot of nothing, and it's just like, there are technically much worse films out there because they have much worse morals and much more unlikable characters and settings going on. But it's the fact this film has absolutely nothing going on, and it's just over the top, disgusting cuteness. I mean, I like cute media, but there has to be you have to tone it down a bit and have some kind of substance or peril going on so that it balances out. It's like, once again, Pingu, it's like that had much more charm to it because it did have conflict, much more meaningful conflict, and the characters were much more entertaining and funny than this. And it's like, it's can be a lot... I think, while in some ways I think it could be tricky to think of ways to make this film work, because like how much of a disaster the final thing is. Obviously, the whole thing with making Stanley. I think if you were to make this film work, I think it would have been a good idea. Cut out all of the stupid padding with the flowers just dancing around, and all the stupid things with Rosie, like dancing around, and just things that go on for way too long. Cut that out. Make it more so that Stanley, he has more, like, he's not so much of a coward, and like there's much more character to him, and try to so that it focuses more on when he arrives when he arrives in Central Park. Make it so that he arrives trying to come across Gus and Rosie more straight away, rather than padding it out with the flowers just like dancing around annoyingly. And if you didn't have him just like fix it so that he could try to learn how to survive and interacting more with people in New York, so that there would be so we could gain more insight into his character and gain more insight into why he likes flowers so much. Go into the history of trolls, like I still think if you revealed that was trolls that were turned into stone were the good ones, when he was like the last of his kind and he was fighting to try to be a kind of a rebellion against Gnorga's empire. That would have made him more interesting. That would have made him more badass, like he's doing it in defiance rather than just him carrying away in his home and just letting other stupid things happen with him somehow not being discovered. And it would have made the motivations of the villains, like why they're doing this, and Lort trying to go against his wife's wishes. That would have been much more interesting. Cut out the stupid thing with Stanley as a dream world, and try to make it so that he teaches the other. Like if you were be able, I think it would have been better if you had the stone trolls and the flower trolls, like Stanley, like being two opposite factors. And they both have, like, for example, the stone trolls, they could turn things to stone, which is much more, much stronger and more robust. And Stanley's kind is to making the flowers make more greenery, and they come to more of a more of a truce at the end, and Gnorga is one who doesn't want to see any kind of truce happen, and she wants to keep her kind under her iron thumb, so that they would follow her every need. But it's that they don't seem to be very happy with in the first place. So it's there can't be. Stanley can't be the only one who didn't really have much of who wasn't happy with her. So if you had something like a rebellion with them, like a turning on her in the end, and she starts going more and more desperate to try and force her under her rule, and it comes clear it's not working, and her ways of turning them to stone is her way of keeping them under her power. But then that bit at the end with the green thumb turning Stanley back to normal, maybe they could have done that with the other trolls that had been petrified at the end. That could have been something interesting. It's like there's a whole load of really cool ideas that could have been explored. And I still think if you had more with Stanley's powers than just making these disgustingly bouncy creatures, that would have brought more range to what he could do, rather than just make all these disgustingly icky creatures just bouncing around. And also, if you had Stanley having more character to him and having more interesting character plot-wise, it probably would have made those scenes where he talks about all his issues and how he feels like ostracised from his kind less. I'd actually feel more for him if he gave me more of a reason to care for him, and Gnorga was a more threatening villain than one she was. I think that's a reason why I felt so much for Thorax from Friendship is Magic. Thorax, in a lot of ways, feels a lot like Stanley done right. Chrysalis is a much more terrifying and much more horrific villain, in terms of like how much of a threat she is, and you can see in how much danger her victims and her own people are underneath her rule. And I actually ended up feeling much more for Thorax when he started befriending Spike, because he had much more character to him. He's able to be like a nice guy without feeling overly sickly sweet and saccharine in his mood. He can actually stand up for himself when things go wrong, and he learns to be assertive in later episodes. And I'm just going to say this, he's got a much better design than Stanley. Yes, even in his reformed state, I feel that the design of a Hive the reformed changelings is much more aesthetically pleasing than Stanley's hideous looking sickly sweet design there. And as such, if Thorax got turned to stone, and if he got eaten by a chrysalis at the end, like she threatened to, I would have freaked out if that happened. Because I remember when Chrysalis was holding Thorax and was sucking all the love out of him, and you could see just like she was straight in the view of the camera with her mouth wide open like that. I was petrified of that scene, but I was like freaking out, and that scene still haunts my nightmares. But likely because the villain is much more threatening, and I care much more for the characters who are in peril in To Where and Back Again, part 2. But when it comes to Stanley, it's just I didn't feel anything when he got turned to stone. I actually felt happy he was. If the main character that you're turning to stone, that the villain is turning into stone, and you're feeling happy that it's happening, then chances are you failed somewhere down the line, you know? Another thing, when it comes to Gus and Rosie as characters, I feel you could have fixed them, because, Rosie doesn't have... I think you could probably... you can make as mentioned with Rashan Florrie Hart and Mary Gibbs from Ice Age, Friendship is Magic, and Monsters Inc., respectively. Toddler characters can work. You can still make them like charming and really cute in their own way, but I don't know what it is about Rosie. She just adds to the disgustingly cute nature of the film, especially because she seems to capture like all the negative sides of like toddler characters. Yeah. So, and with Gus, I liked it when he stood up to Stanley at the end and told him to shut up and stop being a coward. But they're not bad. Once again, it's potential that they had. I feel like if you toned down Rosie's loud sound bites, and you had it so that Gus didn't start off a film being more like a brat. It's like with his development, I like the idea of his development, like him coming to care for Rosie more. But I think that you could have the story didn't start off with them being such brats, but they decided just to sneak out of the house just by themselves. I'm not sure if Rosie would understand that, but Gus should have. If you tried to come with more, like maybe if their parents went to the park and they got separated, or Stanley somehow ended up in the house by themselves and they ended up getting lost in a Central Park that way, and maybe if they go into Central Park with their parents, they get separated somehow, and you see more of the parents trying to find them. And when Central Park gets destroyed, you see more of the police like trying to find them, and being less than a match for like the trolls from the other world that they don't understand, or at least trying to put up a good fight and trying to find their children. That would have been good, and. If they went more into like rather than just having Gnorga just randomly turning Gus into a troll, I feel like we could have done a bit more of that as well, like more reasons why. Like for example, maybe Gus feels it's like Gus maybe spends more time, like with Edmund with the White Witch in A Lion Witch of a Wardrobe. Maybe he starts spending time with Gnorga and starts being manipulated by her. She starts trying to take advantage of him, and he starts turning into more of a troll as he starts giving into more of his bad vices or something. I think that's how he could have done something with that, and maybe he starts using his troll powers that he gains to stand up to Gnorga and escape. And Stanley talks to the good in him, and Rosie tries to save him as well. Or he sees Rosie, and that speaks out the goodness that's still in his heart, or something like that. That could have been something you could have added in there. And a funny thing is, when it comes to a rewrite of Metropolis Central Park, one of my friends, Sketch Shepherd on Discord, she wrote a really, really great rewrite idea for this film called Magic of the Fawn. It's on her For Affinity page, and I really, really recommend trying to check it out. Because it is much better. The characters are much more interesting. It does a lot more with the ideas, with the green thumb, and the villain is a million times more threatening. And it also adds a few little bits to it to become its own story. And I really recommend checking it out if you can. It's just there's just a whole load of, because at least with A Pebble and the Penguin, for as many problems that that film had, it had a plot that kept me invested all the way through, and it did like most of the characters in it rather than just the one here with Lort. I still think it would have been, yeah, this film doesn't have very much to go on, and it's the opposite problem to Rockadoodle. Rockadoodle just jumped through all the stupid things happening over and over and over again. And it had the kid in that, oh god, what was his name? Edmund was just as annoying as Stanley here. But it's the other extreme with this. With this film, it goes on forever. It's too sick. Rockadoodle was too toned down and watered down in the tone as well. But this is just even worse with this film. And you can probably tell that I didn't really get much enjoyment out of it. It was fun to rip it apart, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'd much rather watch, just stick to Pebble and the Penguin, just skip this one. So yeah, that was fun. I'm just going to go and watch The Secret of Nim and cheer myself up. And prepare myself for my next live reaction, which I hope to come to next time, and will hopefully be much more interesting than this. I imagine it will. And when I go out for my walk and go to any garden centres in the near future, hopefully I won't come across any disgustingly happy trolls just like telling me to, oh, if you dream you can accomplish anything, and just turning everything into The Last of Us with everything just covered in plant life. Okay, so I'm just going to go and watch something with actual substance next. So talk to you all later, everybody. Duckyworth out. Bye, everyone.